think the SaaS startups often get wrong and wrong when approaching growth, you know, and how can they fix it? The things that they get wrong usually.
I think one of the massive issues that I've seen with majority of the SaaS companies today is they just want to be an alternative. They see that a SaaS has hit a unicorn valuation, so they feel let's build a cheaper version of it and let's push into the market. For 92% of those startups, it doesn't work because distribution is where the actual money is. It's not in creation. So creating software today is no longer a challenge. But to distribute those software, to build those relationships, is something that one needs to work on. Now the problem that I have seen is out of every 100 SaaS companies that come in, 88% are built by developers, which means the founder is a developer. They are not business people. So they feel that the moment they get even bit of traction, they've built a unicorn. That's been the biggest challenge that I have seen, right? If a couple of people buy in as well, they think I built a unicorn. And that doesn't work in reality. So you have to see and consider SaaS like any other business, right? It's as good as you making a pizza and selling a pizza, right? The effort requires to make a pizza and sell a pizza is equivalent to SaaS. Now the value creation is different. When you are selling food, the value that you're creating is for 10 minutes, you're filling someone's stomach for the next 3-4 years, 3-4 hours. But when it comes to SaaS, you are giving that value every single day for the next 30 days, right? So that's where you create more value. So, but it still takes the same amount of effort to find a customer. And before you build a startup, I think another biggest mistake that I've seen is that people do not validate their idea. They just jump into the product rather than trying to test out the market, rather than trying to validate the product. And that's been the second major issue. And third major issue that I've seen is the constant phase of building. Let's build more. You get one prospect coming in and say you don't have this. They end up spending all of their time trying to build something, and then the prospect is, I don't want the software anymore. So you get into that trap of loop of just building it rather than focusing on distribution. So if you're building one piece of feature or one piece of solution, you need to first go and find your first 100 customers for that specific feature. If you're not able to do that, then building software, you will never be successful in the software business. Now when you go from 100 to 1000, you would have probably rejected about 5000 to 10,000 prospects. Now you have the data with you. Use that data to understand why did you say no, and out of those 10,000, find out the commonality in terms of what all features everyone was asking for. That's when you build the next set of feature, right? This is how you do in terms of building a product market fit. Product market fit is something you don't get in 1 day or 2 days, unless and until you are a big influencer, you already have your audience, you already have all the insights. You have spent last 3 years, 5 years just building up the audience, and then you're building a product. Then it's a completely different game at that stage, right? But if you're not doing that, and if you want to dive into business right away, take the first 3 months just to validate. So I have a very simple $1 concept that is pretty popular among many of these SaaS startups, which says that you reach out to 100 of your potential prospects and see how many of them are willing to pay you $1 during the idea stage. That's it. Now when you go to 100 of them, there is a big chance that 95 of them will reject you or say no, right? Because to take out money from people is not an easy job. Be it a dollar, be it $10. People would spend probably hundreds and thousands of dollars on alcohol, but they would not give you that $1 for your business, right? So you try to validate that. Now, if 5 people say yes to you, understand why did those 5 people say yes. Now try to identify the common persona out of those 5 people and try to understand why did those 95 people say no. Do they genuinely did not have need for it? Then in that case, there is a big chance that 95% of your startup will fail. Now, if you see they are probably saying no because they don't trust you enough, then you build some trust, understand what they want, give them time to understand their business, and try to see how you can provide value, because no one is going to get on a call unless and until you can provide them value. Now, go back to the drawing board and start working on that idea. Now you have worked on that idea, go back to those 95 people again with those improved ideas and see what do they say. Right? Never give up, right? So in sales, we always say that keep following up with your prospects until they buy or die, right? So if they've said no, they're saying no for that time only. As long as they are in your industry and you know this product is going to work for them. If you're completely tapping into a very different industry altogether where there is no need, then don't follow, then don't waste your time. But if you know this product will actually add value, keep following up. Sometimes it can take a year to close certain deals, but trust me, this is what it takes to go out there. And the problem is developers do not have this sort of mindset. So that's where majority of the failures happen. So that's been the biggest learning from what I have seen, and that's the advice that I would probably give. So try to see if you can take that $1 concept to making 80 people agree out of 100, because if you are able to do that, your chances of succeeding as a startup is about 80%. So 20% risk every entrepreneur can take at that stage.
Thank you for that. That was very information. Now we come to pitching, right? So as early founders, what are the mistakes that the founders make when they're